Alright, YouTubers, coming back at you with another knife video. Looking at a very exciting knife from ZT. This is their first release, well, I guess technically second release of 2017. They released the 801 Ti. This is the bronze version that it's based off of. This was a sprint run, but they released that one, which is kind of not a new model. This is a brand new model. New collaboration between Dmitry Sinkovich and Todd Rexford, which is awesome that these two legendary designers are collaborating. It's just amazing. So let's start with the basics like we usually do, the stats on it. You got a blade length of 3.75 inches, a blade thickness of 0.16, not too thick. CPM 20 CV steel. Calling it a sheep's foot blade. It's a little bit more than, I don't know, it's kind of a modified sheep's foot, I guess we could call it that. Flat grind with a satin finish, with a plain edge. Obviously ZT doesn't really do serrations anymore. Handle length is 4.95 inches. Pretty big knife. 3.75 blade, 4.95 handle. Pretty substantially big knife. Carbon fiber handles with a blue weave. Now this is what I wanted to emphasize a little bit. I'm going to zoom in just for a second. And it looks better in sunlight, but this light's picking up pretty good. You can see that really cool blue weave in the carbon fiber. That's freaking awesome. ZT, dude, they keep doing things that no one's doing. When's the last time you saw, I mean, I guess Spyderco has some, the Domino, but it wasn't even, it's like a G10 laminate carbon fiber. This is actually real deal carbon fiber. And you just see that weave, and it's just like something you would get on a custom scale that you made for a knife or something. That's what it reminds me of. So, lightweight, guys, for its size. 4.3 ounces. Pretty freaking amazing for how big this knife is. Let's look at a couple knives that are similar in size. Let's zoom out so we can see them. Got my Hinderer MP1 on me today. Freaking loving that knife. So there's three. Slice Bowie. Let's get that in there. This is going to be bigger than all of these knives, I believe. Not by a lot, though. Pretty similar. If we go pivot to pivot, it's a little longer in the slice. And it's more closest to the 801, I think. The Hinderer is a little smaller. But the reason why I put all these knives up here, because they all weigh more. Maybe not the slice, but the ZTs, or the ZT weighs, this one weighs 5.6 ounces. The Hinderer weighs 5.5 ounces. And you get only a 3 1/4 inch blade and a smaller handle. And the Slice Bowie is... it's actually exactly the same. So the Slice Bowie is the same weight as the ZT here, but it's a smaller knife with a smaller blade. So it's pretty amazing. Now how do they do that? Well, they accomplish that by the handle material being all carbon fiber, and then you have titanium backspacer, pocket clip, subframe lock. That's the real low weight saver there, is they're doing the subframe lock on this knife, which ZT has, and Kai I guess, has patented. They did this obviously on the 777, which was an amazing knife. This knife really reminds me of that one. The Kershaw Knockout, a few knives have it, but really, really good weight saver there. So that's how they did it, with all that carbon fiber and that titanium goodness. So for being a big knife, which is something I don't normally carry anymore, it's so light. It's just over 4 ounces that you don't even notice it in the pocket. So the steel is 20 CV, which is an excellent steel. Something newer out there. Hinderer's starting to use it. Benchmade's been putting in their new grips. ZT's starting to switch from... I think it's kind of just based on availability. 20 CV is available. 204P may not be. M390 may not be. So it's a very, very similar steel to those two. So it's a very high-end steel. And you have a, like I said, modified sheep's foot with a flat grind. Doesn't look terribly thick behind the edge. ZTs typically are. I'm betting it's going to be a pretty solid slicer. Let's see. Yeah, we got some good testing paper here. This is like that really thin packing paper. So let's see how that just rips. It's because it's so it's so fragile. That's okay. Maybe not a good test of sharpness. Just grab some regular copy paper. Very, very sharp out of the box, which, you know, not surprising for ZT. Should be a pretty good slicer, though, I feel. Action on this guy. Wow. Okay, watch me open it. Watch me shut it. Watch me middle finger flick it. Watch me slowly open it. Watch it drop. I think it's on bearings, right? Nope. Phosphorus bronze washers. So smooth. I should have grabbed my 620 carbon fiber because it's very, very similar in action. This is even smoother. Probably the smoothest knife I've felt on washers out of the box ever. I've got this Slice Bowie that it's really crazy smooth too, but it's because it's been, you know, I've taken it apart, put some nano oil on there, polished up the washers a little bit, modified it some. This is straight out of the box, untouched. I mean, I literally just got this from House of Blades today. Shout out to them for getting these knives so fast. I don't know how they got them for all the other dealers, but they did. And they had them shipped in 2 days. Threw in a pretty cool hat with it. I've got the 460 at the same time. So I'm going to do a separate video on that one. So the action is superb for this knife. Your pocket clip is milled titanium. Very nice looking clip. Very functional. Not deep carry. Who cares? I like deep carry clips, but it's not the end of the world. It carries nicely in the pocket. One thing I hate about milled titanium pocket clips is if they don't leave enough gap between the scale and the titanium. They did an excellent job. It's got some good spring. It's not too stiff. It's stiff. It's not going to come off, but so it carries nicely in the pocket. I have carried this a little bit today. Ergonomics on this thing are freaking awesome. I mean, really good. Really good ergonomics. Just super comfortable in the hand. Pretty good, pretty big handle. You know, it's got a lot of handle left for me, which you have this nice, what do we want to call that? I almost want to call it choil, kind of a thumb ramp that kind of swoops in there, kind of like the ZT-0900 that I really like. And when you, oh, speaking of the 0900, I brought it with me. So it's got a very similar, this is less pronounced because it's a much smaller blade, but you can see the similarity there, how that dips. And I love it on the 0900 because it makes a very small knife very usable, whereas this is a big knife, but it gives you a way to choke up to do finer detail. And I almost feel like it should have a choil right there. I would kind of love a finger choil right there. I think you could really have, that would just kind of perfect it. It almost feels like it should be there. My only complaint here is the thumb stud. The thumb stud's awesome, by the way. We'll go over the detail more. Is kind of in the way a little bit. Not a big deal. But the ergonomics are phenomenal in the hand and your normal standard grip, your reverse grip. Very, very comfortable. Very good ergonomics. Let's see, there's no hot spots, or just got a really nice feel to it. Okay, so let's talk about the design. That's where we're going to go into some more detailed shots here and talk about the pivot, the backspacer, and the thumb stud. They got a kind of a, it's got a decorative pivot, as you can see here, kind of a cylinder, almost like a revolver. What's cool is you have the same thing on the thumb stud, and it's a different, it's like a like a darker gray titanium. It's got a different finish on it, but it has the same finish as the backspacer, which also has the revolver type cylinder. And then it's got a very cylinder. Look at this view here. So the whole idea is kind of like this cylinder. Almost looks like a bullet, actually. I haven't thought about that until now. That does look like, those look like bullets. Oh, that's freaking sweet. That looks like bullets, like stacked together in a magazine or something. That is awesome. Oh man, this thing's blowing me. And then you have the cylinder there. So you have that on the cylinder on the backspacer, the pivot, and the thumb stud. Very cool design elements. That along with the freaking just awesome blue weave carbon fiber, the milled titanium clip, the subframe lock. The design on this thing is superb, guys. I mean, you have two awesome designers, two of my favorite, Rexford and Sinkovich. I've got a couple different of their knives as far as ZT is concerned. Had a few. I think I've actually owned all of them, and they've always been some of my favorites. So when I heard they were collaborating on a knife, I got super excited. I saw the price tag and I was a little like, ugh. And then I saw the size and I was a little, it's a little big. But you know what? Because it's so lightweight, carries so nicely, it's okay. It's not a deal breaker for me. Fit and finish. Typical, I mean, I don't want to say typical ZT. I think this is a different level for ZT. I think this is 777 level. I think this is limited run 392 factory custom level. This is not a typical production level ZT. I really don't think it is. I mean, these are great. Don't get me wrong. Love my ZTs. But this knife is on a different level than those. It really is. So you look at that price tag and you think that's expensive for a ZT. $320 is what you're going to pay. I don't think it is. Considering all the design elements, the materials, the subframe lock, the steel choice, the designers that were involved, it's priced accordingly. ZT has always been spot on with their pricing. They put out some amazing products in the USA for less than some Chinese-made knives. I'm not bashing Chinese. You know, I like the Wies, I like the Riots, I like the Kaisers. Not bashing at all. But ZT has a higher value because they're made in the United States and they're priced. I mean, this is priced like a Riot, and I don't know. I'm not going to get into that conversation, but anyway, amazing knife. So your philosophy of use, you know, I don't want to sound like nuts. I just sound like nothing there. It's an EDC knife. It's not a hard use knife. It's not a tactical full. It couldn't be a tactical folder, I guess. It's kind of an all-around knife. It's more of a piece of art almost. It's still a very usable EDC. It's something that you could easily carry and use. But I kind of feel like it's fallen into a category where a lot of people are gonna be like, "Ooh, that's so nice and pretty. I don't know that I'm gonna carry and use it and get it and mess it up." I can kind of see it falling there. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I love the knife, don't get me wrong, but am I going to carry it and use it a lot? I don't know. It might be one of those in my collection that doesn't see as much use, which, you know, a lot of people are like, well, why'd you pay so much for a knife? Well, you know, I review knives, and big ZT fan, big fan of these guys. So I don't know. I'm probably going to, I have put it in my pocket. I haven't cut anything with it yet, and it's just kind of in between, you know? It's not a user that I would call. Not that it can't be, it would hold it, do anything you wanted it to just fine, and that's really what it's designed for. I'm sure Sienkiewicz and Rexford thought, you know, let's make a knife that everyone's going to like, design-wise, but also could be used as a normal EDC, and it definitely can. For me personally, though, it's so nice, and I'm kind of like, oof, I don't know. It's like the 777 was for me, and the 801 Copperhead, and a few of those where I loved them, but I was like, yeah, I just don't know. So we'll see that. Well, this is just a first impressions video anyway, and an unboxing. So we're already like almost 13 minutes in. Wow. So my first impressions are, it's awesome. It is freaking amazing. It's one of the nicest production knives I've ever seen. And when I say production, I mean regular production. The 777, those kind of knives, were production knives, but they were limited run, limited production. This is a normal everyday production knife, guys. This is one you're going to be able to buy whenever they're in stock. It's not going to be a limited run. This is going to be a readily available knife. I've seen quite a few dealers had it. House of Blades had some. I still might. I saw it at Blade Ops on their website. Haven't seen it on Blade HQ or Knife Center. Maybe Knife Center. But they're probably just fulfilling pre-orders because this is one of those ones that was pre-ordered quite a bit. So overall, very impressed with the ZT-850. I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought I was going, oh, it's going to be too big, and I'm not huge on the blade shape, and it's the detail and just the materials and the feel and the smoothness. It's awesome. I like it better than the 460, which I thought the 460 was going to be the one I really liked. So, well, speaking of that one, we'll do that video next. Thanks for watching this one. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. See you on the next video.